guys, you would agree with me that there is nothing as unpredictable as the British weather. Today it is, sunny, tomorrow is chilly, next tomorrow is cold, even snow as well. Do you know why that is? That is because the British policy as well is so unpredictable. Guys, today they want to cut down on immigration and the next day they are increasing work hours for international students. Anyways guys, my name is Yetty and welcome to another episode of Yettysplash. Splash! On this channel, I share information about relocating, living, and staying in the United Kingdom. So on today's episode of Yettysplash, I'll be telling you the greatest news of all time, which is the fact that the UK is considering increasing work hours for international students in the United Kingdom. Yes, that is, the UK is thinking or planning. The UK Prime Minister, in fact, to be specific, is thinking of increasing work hours for international students in the UK. So let's read the news. Let me just read it like word for word so that you guys will understand how fired up am I about this gist. So this is the headline from Times newspaper, and it says that Britain consider allowing foreign students to work longer hours. From the Times. Like, how cute is that? How fantastic is that? How awesome is the fact that international students could be allowed to work more than 20 hours in the United Kingdom. We all currently know that if you're an international student in the UK, once the term is on, that is, school is in session, you cannot work more than 20 hours. Working more than 20 hours is breaching your visa condition. Like it's usually stated on your visa once you receive it that work limit is 20 hours for international students. However, that is when term is in session. That is when you're going to school, when you're attending classes. But as long as you're on holiday and the school is no longer in session, there is no limit to the number of hours you can work. You can work full time as an international student. But looking at things and looking at how living in the UK is expensive, I cannot even overemphasize this. Like, living in the United Kingdom is not cheap. It's quite expensive. Accommodation is what would take a whole chunk of your money. So if you're saying that international students should only work 20 hours, let me tell you how much you can earn in that 20 hours in a month. Let's say on an average, you're earning £10 an hour. For 20 hours, that's 200 pounds. Multiply by 4, that's 800 pounds. Don't get me wrong, you can earn more, you can earn less, but on average, an international student earns 800 pounds. Now, depending on where you're living, if I use London as an example, if you're living in London, earning 800 pounds a month, we pay house rent in the UK monthly, not yearly like back home. So out of that 800 pounds, imagine if you're paying your landlord 500 is gone. What is left? Transportation is still there, feeding. You might have tuition balance to pay as well. So surviving on 20 hours as an international student is something that is really tough and really difficult, and I'm super excited. Even though I am no longer an international student, I'm super excited that the government is trying to look into this to, see ways in which international students can work more hours. Now let me read it to you guys. So the news states that the British government is looking at plans to allow foreign students to work longer hours to boost the economy by plugging vacancies. Guys, they need us to boost their economy. Like, immigrants are actually valuable in Europe and across the world, wherever you find us. Like, immigrants are valuable. They need us to boost their economy. And this news is so shocking and so funny. It's coming right after the Home Secretary news on cutting down immigration over the past few days, and I even shared it on my channel. Braverman that is the Home Secretary of the United Kingdom. She is trying to cut down on immigration, and part of her plan is to ensure that international students, once they cannot find a job 6 months after they're on the post-study work visa, they might be asked to go back home. Like, she's doing everything she can to cut down on immigration because we have a lot of international students in the United Kingdom. And now the Prime Minister is also bringing in isn't that so contradicting? Like, they're also making plans to extend this same international student that they want to kick out. They're also making plans to extend, how long they will work in the United Kingdom. So not only is this news quite, contradictory to each other, but it is a good development if eventually international students can be allowed to work more than 20 hours in the United Kingdom. So let's read the news. It says that ministers are looking at ways to encourage British and overseas students to take more part-time jobs to deal with shortages in areas such as hospitality and retail, the report said, citing government sources. So they are saying that there is shortage when it comes to the retail sector as well as hospitality sector. So they are trying their best to increase work hours, because the honest truth is, as you know, international students in the UK for part-time job, like when I came in, I can use myself for example, I did retail, I worked at Primark. So they are saying that they have shortage of staff in the retail sector as well as hospitality, and these are the areas in which most international students do get jobs when they arrive, especially if you just want to survive before you now start looking for like roles that align with your career. People just, you know, start at McDonald's, work at Primark, you know, do retail just to find something doing. So if they're saying that there's now shortage in this area and they're looking at increasing the work hours for international students, and this is indeed a fantastic news, to be honest. But they just need to pick a struggle. They cannot be looking for ways to cut down on migration and at the same time extending work hours. Like, they should just let us be. Okay, moving on, guys. They said discussions have begun with the government about either raising the cap on paid work hours of foreign students to 30 hours per week from 20 hours currently, or removing it entirely. It is fantastic. Like, it's going to be so fantastic if there is actually no cap. Like, we need this money as international students to survive, and that is the honest truth. Living in the UK is expensive, depending on your city, but generally on an average, wherever it is you're living, it is expensive. And don't forget that studying in the UK as well is expensive. It is not cheap. If you're not on a full scholarship, you are looking at an average of £12,000 for your tuition fee, which is more than what, because every time they say international students should work just 20 hours, I find that really not funny. What's the reason for this? You're saying we should focus on our studies, whereas we're paying more than those that are citizens, and citizens have no work restriction, and it's still the same academic load, still the same lessons you're taking together. So if your citizen can actually go to school without work limits while they're working full-time, they're still doing their master's degree, and then why are you capping international students that have more financial responsibility, no loans, no student loan, nothing to support our education? We have to pay this tuition that is even, you know, a citizen in the UK is paying like 7,000 for their master's degree program, and you get to pay 14,000 for your master's degree program as an international student, and they're telling you you cannot work full hours, where someone who is paying 6,000 or 7,000 pounds, the person is working full hours. The person is also getting student loan to support their academic, you know, exploits or academic whatever it is that they are doing to support their studies. So why can't international students, why can't we work full hours? Why can't we work full hours to also support ourselves, bearing in mind that we pay more tuition fee, bearing in mind that we don't have student loan that we have access to, bearing in mind that most of us we don't have family members that we are living in their accommodation. Citizens have family members, they grew up here, they're living with their parents, they don't pay rent. Do you understand what I mean? So it is high time they need to sit down and discuss this thing. They need to remove the cap. And looking at Canada did that recently. Like, in Canada now you can work 30 hours as international student. It is not a big deal if the UK take a cue from that and allow international students to work full hours. And moreover, don't forget, we are even helping their economy. Like, so it's a win-win for everyone. We are helping you to boost your economy, and in the same time we will be more financially relaxed, more financially capable. Now, another reason why they will say that the 20 hours cap is in place is to ensure that international students focus on your study. But trust me, you will not be able to focus on your studies if you have debts to pay. Like, if you have tuition fee balance to pay, there is absolutely no way you'll be focused on your study. But if there's no cap as to the hours you can work, trust me, people will even perform better, because you know that at least you can pay your tuition fees, you don't have any financial obligation, your house rent you can pay it. Having financial obligation is huge. Like, having to think, worry about paying your tuition fee, worry about accommodation and things like that, worrying about the fact that you know that your take home is just £800, some even take home £500 in a month, and this is chicken change. Don't even try to compare it to naira and say that it's a lot of money. When you're in the UK, £800, £1,000 a month is chicken change, because it will not even cater for anything. Before you remove accommodation money, what else do you have? feeding is there, transportation is there, electricity bill is there, and so many other things. So guys, I think I'm really happy that the British government is considering removing the work limit for international students. It is a fantastic news. Reading further, it stated that government sources told the Times that ministers were looking at what more can we do to remove barriers and encourage students to work, and lifting the cap on foreign student hours was part of the consideration. Wow. Reading further, government sources told the Times that ministers were looking at what more can we do to remove barriers and encourage students to work, and lifting the cap on foreign students' hours was part of the swath of ideas being discussed. This idea is at an early stage and has yet to be agreed across government, the report said. The plan comes amidst Britain's Home Secretary Suella Braverman's proposal to reduce immigration in the country. Just like I said, like, Braverman is saying that they should reduce immigration, and you're saying that you want to increase work hours for international students. That is a bit contradictory. Like, what exactly does the Britain want from international students? We just want to come study, you know, better life for ourselves. I understand the fact that they also need to put the country in check. They also need to know what they are doing, because don't forget, they also have citizens to cater for, so it's not just about the migrants coming in. But either ways, I think there should be policy that will work for both parties, both for British and as well as immigrants in the United Kingdom, because we are boosting their economy. Immigrants are valuable to them. We are bringing in tons of money, and we're also using our manpower to sort of serve them, providing labor to them as well. So we are not useless, we are valuable, and they need us. So we are praying for lovely policies that would allow immigrants to not just come into the UK but to also remain in the United Kingdom. So while we are still hoping that this becomes a law soon enough, I hope they look into this and, you know, shove Braverman's idea into the corner while they quickly respond to this, because international students, we need this money. We do not want the work hour limit anymore. 20 hours is nothing to survive on. 20 hours is nothing to survive on. I repeat, 20 hours is nothing to survive on. So the fact that they are considering increasing this is an amazing news. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, because now I am back on YouTube every day giving you gist that you need. Don't forget to connect with me on all my other social media platforms, especially Instagram, because you will find me there every day. I remain your one and only baby girl Yetty, and guys, stay blessed. Bye.